What's up everyone, it's Wavy Tech. I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about the positive things about my iPhone SE right here. Other than the Apple logo, of course, because ever since I got that Apple logo, I've been looking down on these Android peasants. They disgust me. Every time I see them, I say, you know what? I don't even say anything, I just go like this. The power of Apple compels me. Hey, but you know what? Certainly branding is a part of what makes Apple cool. You know, they spend millions of dollars to millions upon millions to make their products seem cool, and you can buy a piece of that by buying one of their products. But no, that's not the only reason why I like this phone. Even though on jeans they have like little coin pockets, this is small enough to fit there, so a lot of times I'll like slide it there to obnoxiously like have the little Apple logo sticking out and act like I'm super cool in front of my friends and family. So I'm sure they love that. But yeah, look, here's the thing. Is not starting off right. Pardon me if I sound a little weird, I'm a little sick. But anyways, here's the thing. On my last video, I had recently gotten the iPhone SE and I did not like it for a lot of reasons. Honestly, when I first got it, I thought I made a big mistake. I was like, man, I just wasted money on this. I should have just stuck to my Moto G5 Plus. Now, I do still like my Moto G5 Plus, but I did not waste my money on this. The truth is, over time, I have really warmed up to this little iPhone SE. I really do enjoy using it. And like, I could list off all the things that I really do like about the phone, but it doesn't really explain it. It doesn't really do it justice. Like, the list of things that I like about this phone are way shorter than my other video on the list of things that I disliked. On my last video, I had recently gotten the iPhone SE and I did not like it for a lot of reasons. Honestly, when I first got it, I thought I made a big mistake. I was like, man, I just wasted money on this. I should have just stuck to my Moto G5 Plus. Now, I do still like my Moto G5 Plus, but I did not waste my money on this. The truth is, over time, I have really warmed up to this little iPhone SE. I really do enjoy using it. And like, I could list off all the things that I really do like about the phone, but it doesn't really explain it. It doesn't really do it justice. Like, the list of things that I like about this phone are way shorter than my other video on the list of things that I disliked. But really quickly, I'll just go over things that I actually do like so I can give you like a concrete, like what I like about it. Number one is reopening apps. I guess you would call this RAM management, I'm guessing. But basically, if I open a Twitter app, and then I open YouTube, and then I open texting, and then I'm doing all these other things, and I want to go back to the original Twitter app, it'll open right away to the thing that I was doing. On a lot of Android phones, like my Moto G5 Plus, if I were to do the exact same things and then try to reopen that first app I opened, it would open and then reload and then start from the top. So it's not as snappy. It's just more waiting, I guess. It's not like lag. I wouldn't call it lag, but it's not as clean, it's not as smooth. And overall, that's a part of the package that makes the iPhone feel super smooth, which is another thing that I really liked about it. Is even though this phone is older, they're supporting it. I'm running iOS 12 on it. It's been great. I haven't had any of the major glitches that I had originally. I'm willing to bet that this iPhone SE is smoother than any Android phone in its same price range, new or old. And it's not like things are horrible on Android like on my Moto G5 Plus, but like if I open the camera app, it'll do a little delay before it opens. Not on the iPhone. If I open the camera app, it opens. If I open the gallery app from the camera app, it opens. And sure, it's a lot newer, and I haven't yet put it through like the stress test of having a bunch of data and having a bunch of memory used up. And it's not like things are horrible on Android like on my Moto G5 Plus, but like if I open the camera app, it'll do a little delay before it opens. Not on the iPhone. If I open the camera app, it opens. If I open the gallery app from the camera app, it opens. And sure, it's a lot newer, and I haven't yet put it through like the stress test of having a bunch of data and having a bunch of memory used up, because I certainly think that's what slowed down my Moto G5 Plus. But I suspect that on this iPhone, even when the memory gets used up, I don't think it's gonna lag as much as my Android phones in the past have. That's just my suspicion. If you have iPhones out there, like over time, does it lag or get a lot slower? Obviously they do. You know that, I don't know if you guys are aware of that whole Apple thing where like over time they were slowing down your phones to try to adjust for the depreciation in your battery. I don't know if depreciation is the right word. But basically your battery is getting old, it doesn't work, so Apple was slowing them down. So obviously your phones do get slowed down. I don't think that's the case with Android. I think it's just a file management thing. I think like the more you put on those phones, like the closer you are to maxing out your storage, they just get slower. I don't know, but like I said, I'm suspecting that long term, the experience on the iPhone will be better. Of course, that's speculation. Only time will tell, but I just feel like I haven't seen that many old devices out there, old iOS devices that are just like lagging, just that I've seen. But I could be wrong. Let me know. Oh yeah, the other thing, other than the RAM management and the smoothness of the phone, is the AUX jack on here is really good. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, especially right now where AUX jacks, that just sounds weird. But anyways, in a world where the AUX jack is going away, no one's using the, you know what, I'm gonna say the auxiliary port. How about that? In a world where the auxiliary port is going away and it's Bluetooth, nobody really seems to, I mean, actually, a lot of people do seem to care about it, but no companies seem to be focusing on it. No companies seem to be focusing on the auxiliary port anymore. This one has a really good one. For example, on the Note, on my Moto phone, on my Nexus, I've never had a phone with an auxiliary port as good as this one. What does that mean? It just means that I guess it gets louder. So for example, if I plug in these Bose headphones right here into my Samsung phone, it'll be plenty loud. I'll still have a good experience. Everything will be fine and dandy. I'm gonna be closer to the max volume. Whereas on the iPhone, I'm closer to halfway or maybe a little bit more. It's more open, I guess. It'll allow you, for whatever reason, on the iPhone to get louder sound out of your headphones. I don't know if that's to do with quality or what, but I really do enjoy that. Thing number 4 is all the Apple stuff. I really enjoy all the Apple stuff. So, for example, this is part of iMessage, because iMessage was another bullet point I had here, but all the Apple stuff works fantastic. iMessage is way better than SMS, obviously. But now that I've used it, I understand why people love iMessage so much. I understand, it's just so smooth. Like, for example, a really cool feature that iMessage has is that you can share full resolution video and photos, and it handles it like easily. I really, really like this. And like I said, everything that all the Apple software on here works fantastic, like iMovie. I was super sick, so I was super bored. I recorded this amazing masterpiece. Put the masterpiece that I recorded on this phone in at the end of the video. I'm just joking. It was a silly video I made. But the point is, it was super smooth. I recorded it on this phone. I edited it through iMovie with no lag. Like no hiccups, no nothing. iMovie is obviously a limited video editing experience, but it's mobile and it works great at what it does. So, you know, just to show you, like I shot it, I edited it on the phone, and then I shared it through iMessage super easily without waiting, and there was no file conversion. Not that you have to do that on Android, but it was just super simple. Those are the only things that I have written down, but it's not just that. I think it's overall as an entire, like as a package, the phone is great. iOS 12 has been great. It's just smooth. Like I said, the little hiccups on the Moto G5 Plus, it's not that big a deal. It's like a half step behind, but I just feel like a little half step here, a little half step there, a little half step here really like downgrades your experience. I know I don't know what the saying is. I'm so out of it. I want to say kicking a dead horse. I really hope that's a saying, otherwise that's really fucked up. Regardless, even if it is a saying, that's messed up. But anyways, I know this is kind of what a lot of people have mentioned, and this is kind of what I speculated, but I definitely understand why people love their iPhones. It's a smooth, just no, like a non-complicated experience. Like, don't get me wrong, there are things on here that are far from perfect. I wish I could set Google Maps to be my default Maps app. When I open an address through a text or whatever, it just shoots me to Google Maps because I prefer Google Maps to Apple Maps. Overall, it's great. Oh, and the other thing is the microphone on the video quality is actually pretty good. Like it sounds pretty decent. iOS better than Android. That's very, very tough to say. I still do like my Android phones. I still really do like Android. It's still a great platform. There's still plenty that's awesome there. But I get it. I understand both. So I wouldn't say one is better than the other. It's just really interesting. You'd have to use them both. I highly recommend you use them both for yourself and see what you like more. But I definitely understand why people kind of just have iPhones, and then if they're mostly happy with it, so I feel like they don't really find the need to upgrade. And if all their friends are using iMessage, I totally get why people buy iPhones and stay there, especially when you consider the App Store, and a lot of people buy stuff on the App Store, so then switching is kind of a pain because then you probably have to rebuy the apps and it's just wasted money. And why do that when the thing you have you already like? It's hard to put into words. Like I said earlier, it has a little charm to it. It's a little more special of a device. And I'm talking about the SE, especially considered to like budget Android phones, I guess, because there are definitely like Samsung phones that feel really nice, and the higher end Android phones obviously feel really nice. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but just overall as a package, I've really warmed up to the iPhone and the iOS experience, and I really do enjoy it. And it's just a smooth, easy experience, and I enjoy using it. I enjoy using iOS, and that means a lot. That's something you can't really quantify, I guess. I do enjoy using Android, but right now I think I enjoy using iOS a little more. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I don't know if anyone of you who have used both platforms kind of understand this, but for some reason I feel like spending more time on Android phones. I don't know if that's good or bad. For me personally, it's bad because I'd rather spend less time on my phone. Whereas the iPhone and iOS just are kind of like, they're not necessarily kicking you out, but because there's no like fancy special effects going on, you kind of, tap on the app that you want to use, and then I find myself getting out of it quicker than on the Android. Now again, that could possibly be because of the smaller screen. But yes, you know what, as an Android user's experience, if you've only used Android and are interested in iOS, I highly recommend you try it. I think that there are some pros here that, like iMessage is a huge one, especially if all of your friends and family or a lot of them are using iMessage. Try iOS out if you can. That should be it. Sorry if I seem a little low energy. I am a little sick. So thank you for sticking around to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you want to see more of my face, hit the subscribe button. And let me know if you have any questions about this iPhone SE or using the iPhone SE in the year 2018. I still don't recommend this particular model for most people, just because I do feel that it's too small, and I feel like you'd get more bang for your buck if you size up. But if you're interested in a smaller phone, or you know what, screw it, or if you don't mind having a small phone, this is definitely a really good deal if you can find it, in great condition, used or brand new, especially because I was thinking about it, and I feel like a lot of the reasons why people use iPhones have to do with iOS. This has the latest iOS on it, so you get a lot of the features that people love for a really low price, which puts this at a very interesting place. You know what I mean? Like hardware wise, obviously like the bigger screens are cool. The new iPhones have like deep blacks and really vibrant colors and extra cameras and stuff. But I think the thing that people really love is the iOS aspect of their phones. You get all of iOS in here for a lower price, and everything else is still good. The camera, even though there's better cameras, that doesn't mean this one is a bad one. So if you're interested in it, I say go for it. I really do. Because at around the same price, if you look at Android, you can definitely probably get better hardware and like more modern-ish features. For example, the Moto G6 right now, it's for Black Friday. I highly recommend that one too. Like if you can get it for the, like I know Costco's doing a deal, Best Buy's doing a deal, Amazon probably do deals on it. And hardware-wise, it looks a little ridiculous next to the SE as far as like how much more you can get for your money on like the Android side with the Moto G6. But if you want iOS, hey, this is a great way to get introduced to it. I know I already said bye or whatever, but yeah, like it, subscribe, catch you in the next one. That's it. That is it. Bye. Bye. Look, guys, I'm out of it. I'm trying to throw a peace sign, and I'm throwing a number 1 at you. But yeah, you are number 1, okay? Peace.